the whole positioning of this podcast is exponential impact.
Yes.
We believe, India is really ready to take off. In next 20, 30 years, there's going to be exceptional opportunities. But all of that will not matter if half the country's population is not fully participating in it. This whole topic of, women participation in the workforce, in entrepreneurship, new opportunities is extremely important. I think, one of my dear friend is this guy, Neelkant Mishra. He is a top economist in the country. His understanding of what is happening in our society, why is that, it's one thing to say that, historically, culturally, socially, participation has been low. But I think what's a little more painful is that it's not changing as fast. It's not like we're saying, unlike GDP growth, you're saying every year 7-8% is growing. It's not like, more and more women are coming up and joining. It's still kind of stagnant.
Yes.
And I think the topic, I would love to understand a lot more deeply.
Yes.
And perhaps, spark a conversation and talk to a lot more women who are role model like yourself, who has done great job of balancing, personal life, family life, and a career, in your case, even entrepreneurship. I think that's desperately needed in India.
I totally agree, Mukesh. And there's something I want to add, here is, in India, women, or in India generally, we have a lot of, our support system is strong when compared to any other country, right? Like when I look at my sister, I look at other people living in, like cousins living in other countries, and when they have babies, I mean, there's zero support system. I think for women in India, from marriage to baby to career, all that is very easily doable because your support system is phenomenal. You have your parents coming in, you take care of your child. You have your aunts. You can have 5 nannies if you want. You know what I mean? Like a good
all
nannies.
for free.
Yeah. The support system is phenomenal. So I would say, women should, with baby, post-marriage is still simpler. But even, having 1, 2, 3 babies, you can still do everything you want as an entrepreneur or to kind of pursue your career.
Yeah.
Because the support system is there.
Yeah, I think the whole society needs to, learn and change their mental model and create a more favorable environment, a lot more role models, a lot more conversations. But I think for India to realize its true potential is very, very important to unlock, that the unrealized potential, that lies among the women.
Yes. Something else that keeps in my mind now is, I think in India, another thing we need to, it's starting to change. The fathers or the men need to start supporting the women a lot more. In the sense, my husband, this is an unknown story as well. My husband quit everything he was doing so that, because I had a pandemic baby, like peak 2020 July. It was very tough because we didn't have help. My parents are very old because I had a baby very late. Vivek's parents were in Trivandrum, couldn't come and help us. We didn't get a nanny at that point. The nanny only came like 4-5 months later. My husband quit everything he did, no job, nothing, because he realized I needed the help. And then he supported me for the 6-8 months. And then we shuttled between Kundapur here to keep taking help. And finally we found a good lady, not a nanny, but someone who can help us and lived in with us. But here's the thing, Mukesh, when I had to come back after 6 months to Cult, back to my job, my husband said, I'll continue to be the father or full-time father. You go and earn for the house. And I feel like from the time I've married him, it's life has changed and it's only gotten better because of the support. My parents have always supported me, but the kind of support that I received from Vivek, my husband, has been absolutely unconditional, and he's always prioritized my needs far more. Until Yona my daughter, turned 2 years, he didn't work.
Right. Yeah.
He was there for her. I would wake up at 5 and go to the gym, and I'd come back only like 7:38 because I have a longest process for myself, and he knows how important fitness is for me. Then the one thing he wouldn't take away. He would ensure he wakes up, with the daughter, gives her a bath, feeds her, and then we started her daycare slightly early because we had the option, drops her, does everything we needed to do for her in my absence, even when I travel. And I don't know if that kind of support system exists, because today, even with a lot of, people who, even in the modernized times, women still tend to say, okay, I'll take the longer maternity break. I will consider staying home for 2 years and then going back. And my husband was like, I didn't even say it. He's like, I'll quit everything. You know, it's all for a while and we can work harder and earn what we, for the time we lost. But one of us needs to be here with the daughter. You cannot, because you have a more important job to do. With Cult, I can.
That's amazing. I think, thanks for sharing. I think, it's very inspiring, what your husband Vivek, chose to do, like fully support you and the baby through his process, probably, at least put his own career on pause, I guess, for some time.
Yes.
To ensure that, you were able to pursue what you want to do. And I think the point I will generate to say that, we don't need to have these things in a very gender stereotypical manner, right?
Exactly.
It's ultimately,
Exactly.
as a partnership, both people are involved, and depending on each individual family situation, like different people can take different roles and responsibilities. And I think we can move past, very stereotypical role of this is what a guy is supposed to do, this is what a girl is supposed to do, right? And that will be, that mindset change can, I think, create a more level playing field and, better equal opportunity environment and support, for,
Yes, Mukesh.
for everyone.
I have to tell you this funny thing, because my mom would look at this whole situation and she'd be like, "Whoa, Vivek, what have you done? Why is he doing this?"
Right.
I'm like, "Ma, how does it matter whether he does it or I do?"
Correct.
And I don't try to reason with her because she's never going to
Right.
understand, because she believes it's my duty.
Right.
But his mom is looking at it from a very different perspective. She's like, "This is very impressive to see you do so much." I mean, and now he calls his mom more often.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's just completely understood what, having a baby and just managing. So it's very interesting.
His mom is probably thinking, I wish I had a husband like him. So.
Totally. Totally.